Hey everybody, it's Bro here. I'm going to show you some priest tricks and tips. I'm doing this live, so we'll see how the first match goes. But here we have my, well, hunter deck, but priest deck. And I'm going to go through the deck and show you what types of cards I use, what I can use, and what can be substituted in for those if you don't have quite those. I'll be showing you a lot of combinations and things you can use to buff out a creature and stuff like that. So I take my silence because silence is always good when they're using uh, whenever they have a shield or they have someone that has a minion ability that's going to be something you don't want to deal with or something that's going to be trouble later on the field if it grows to an exponential rate. Inner Fire I like to use because with a combination of getting a ally up to a lot of health with Power Word Shield or Divine Spirit, you would be able to double their health, and even increase it even more if you wanted to, and then make all their health equal to attack. Which, that would mean you can potentially have a 20-20 minion or anything like that along those lines. You can also use this actually as an offensive spell and change enemy minion if they only have 1 health and 6 attack or anything like that. You could change it to 1 and 1, and it's easier to deal with at that point. Power Word Shield, like I said, is a nice card to start out with. You can give a minion 2 health at the beginning, and once again, use it in combination with Inner Fire. You have now more attack damage even. And you get an extra card, so you get stacking up those cards at the beginning like you would want to be. Goldshire Footman, currently this is what I use. I would want to look for a better taunt, but there's not really many taunts, if any, for level 1 or for 1 mana. So I stick with him just to have something out on that first turn, because if you're going first as a priest, you're going to want something that's 1 mana. No Shard Clerks, I take both of those because I like to take the advantage of drawing a card. I like getting stacked out on cards at the beginning of the game compared to starting to run out halfway through or at the end. I get 2 of those, and I like to use them first as well, or the Footman, and when I do that, I'm able to, quickly after that, if they take 1 or 2 damage, I can use my heal on them, start getting some more cards stacked up in my hands. Same with Voodoo Doctor. That would be a good heal to use on the clerk if they took damage in the second or third turn. You could end up healing up the clerk and then getting a new draw. Divine Spirit, like I've stated before, it's really good to just start stacking up health on 1 minion if you wanted, or get it on 2 separate minions, and then end up using it an Inner Fire. You can even take 2 Inner Fires if you wanted to have 2 Divine Spirits as well. I take 2 Divine Spirits because I like to be able to use them both on 1 person, along with both my Power Word Shields. My Mind Blast, it deals 5 damage. I like to have that offensive ability at the very beginning of a game if I wanted to, or it's something good to use later on in the game with a combination. If you just need to use 2 more mana so you don't waste it, you might have this in your hand to be able to use. Shadow Word Pain. Shadow Word Pain destroys a minion with 3 or less attack. It's good at the beginning of the game, or even at the end if someone summons a Mogushan Vault Defender. They would be able to take them out because they're 1 and 7, so anything with 3 or less attack. Only bad part about it is if they have 4 attack, you can't do anything about it. Frostwolf Grunt, once again, I like a taunt. Keep up taunts throughout the game, and you should be solid, actually. If taunts are really overpowered for what they could be. It forces everybody to have to attack your Frostwolf Grunt, and it's 2 and 2, so you can use that and stack up, once again, the Divine Spirits. Light Wells, I just recently got 2 of them. I find them really nice to use because they're 0 and 5, so they have 5 health, and they only cost 2 mana. And with 2 mana, easy thing to throw out there. It gives 3 health to a friendly character that's including your hero, so it can heal up your hero. And if there's nothing to heal, then at least it's just still out there for when something does need to be healed. Also, a lot of people seem to prioritize a light well getting it out as soon as possible. So it's almost a taunt, but it's not going to actually force them to hit it. It's just going to want them to hit it. This is actually really nice to be used also with the Divine Spirits and the Inner Fire. Especially if you have 2 Inner Fires, I would really recommend taking Light Wells. You'd be able to have them potentially be 5 and 5 out of nowhere. And you can, if you have a Light Well already up and use your Inner Fire on the next turn, you'd be able to have a 5/5 on the field that can attack that turn. Shadow Word Death, it's almost the same as Shadow Word Pain, but this time it's destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more. 5 or more, it doesn't let you do 4 once again. This one's 3, and this one's 5, so this one's the same as Pain, just for 5 and up, and it's really nice for those end game, or for someone that's a 6 health, 1 damage. You don't want to risk using 3 of your own minions to be able to kill one of them. Thought Steal, I really like this card if you're starting to run out of cards, you only have a few cards in your hand. I mainly use it for mid to late game to get some more cards to be able to play with combos. Gives you 2 cards out of their deck. That's extremely good for going against someone that might be overpowered compared to you. Silverback Patriarch. These they have 1 attack, 4 health, and they have taunt also. So they're really good because usually most minions won't just hit it and kill it that one turn. And you can once again use your inner fire on it. I'm actually probably going to end up changing this and taking 2 inner fires now, because it's really overpowered if you can get 2 of them out there and just end up using it once on one guy and then a different time on another minion. Well, yeah, once again, always go for the taunt, and it only costs 3 mana. I have Mind Games here now. Mind Games is really nice because it's only 4 mana, and it takes any monster out of their deck. You could be taking monsters that potentially cost 15 mana, or 12 mana, or 20, or even 8, 10, and 11. With Mind Games also, I've actually used it before and gotten Illidan, I've gotten Grohl on the field, I've gotten many different many different of my enemies' minions onto the field, and it can be really good, and it can also cripple you as well, though. The Soul Priest, that's kind of an iffy card. It depends. It ends up making your heal actually be a damaging spell, so you can use it on minions and the enemy hero. And it's also a minion that's 3 and 5. Bad side about it is, though, you are no longer able to heal your minions, which can be really bad if you're taking Holy Nova or any other type of heal spell for you. It also will hurt you if you heal yourself with any monster or minion that does that. Battle Cry, Defender of Argus. He gives adjacent minions +1/+1 in taunt. I just recently also got this one, and I really like it for if I was to get a Inner Fire and maybe a Soul Well out, along with a few Divine Spirit on it. That would be a 10 and 10, and I would be able to throw down my Defender of Argus on it, and at that point, it's just going to end up being a tank now too. So they can't hit him, of which I can end up tanking him out some. My Light Spawn. These are really nice. I had 2, but I pulled it down to 1. All you have to do for these ones, you don't need Inner Fire, you want your Divine Spirits out. You want anything to make their health higher, increase their health, because their health is based on their damage is based on their health. What's also good is using heals on them, because you bring them back, if they are back down to 3 and 3, they'll go back up to 5 and 5, just by healing them. Your Shield Master. I take Shield Master because it's a nice for a mid game. It's a 3 and 5, and you can just use it to be able to get by to the next turn if you don't have anything to use that turn. And also, it's pretty good once again with all the other combinations a priest can do. Holy Nova. I only take 1 of these because it's nice to get that lane control and not lane control, but field control, and being able to wipe out almost the entire enemy field if you're going against a bunch of lower, or like a hunter or something that summons a lot of minions that are just low health, high attack, or even a shaman or a hunter or a paladin. Many different reasons why this is just an amazing spell to take, especially if you have also spell damage. It also heals all your characters, so all friendly characters are getting healed by 2, and that includes your hero, so it's nice to use to get that little extra health back up. Holy Fire. It does cost 6 mana, but it's really good. It deals 5 damage, which can be increased again with spell damage, and 5 health, heals 5 health to your hero. So it's good to use during mid to late game after you've taken maybe a few hits or something, and you got to get rid of one of their really powered minions real quick, or if you want to just use it as a finisher on the enemy, or even just use it on the enemy if you can't get through the minions right now. Hogger, he's a really nice card. He's actually really strong for what he can do. He summons a tank each and every turn, so at the end of the turn he summons a 2/2 null with taunt. which makes it hard if they're only getting one minion out each time that can attack. They'll only be able to kill that your taunt, which usually means they would have to use a spell out of their way to kill Hogger and not use it on your hero. Illidan Stormrage, I've only used him once or twice, but he's really good with the amount of 1s, 2s, and 3 mana cost spells we have. So you'd be able to use him and even use a spell that turn if it's in late game, and he would already get his his Flame of Azeroth out. He's also good in the next turn if you have a few really low level mana cost cards. You'd be able to use it and get a lot of the Flames of Azeroth out there. He does 7 damage, 5 health. This seems pretty worth it to me. Temple Enforcer. He gives a minion plus 3 health. 6 and 6 minion for only 6 mana. That seems really worth it, not to mention his Battle Cry. His Battle Cry is really nice to use once again with the Inner Fire if you can, or just even use it on a minion that, like Light Spawn, that the more health he has, the more damage he does. It's another combination you can use. Also, you can use it to heal a minion. It'll end up giving a minion 3 extra health for that forever. So that'll be end up set. And of course, Mind Control. Always an absolutely game changer for late game. Mind Control, if they summon that legendary card, they summon that Deathwing or something to wipe you out, wipes the field, you always have your Mind Control. Use that on that, you just turn the tables. You got their tank, you got their taunt, you got whatever you needed from them. It's now yours. Well, that's how my deck is as of today. Go through all these. I have a lot of them. I don't like to take my Circle of Healing because it does heal the enemy's minions. Although, at times it can be okay if they don't have any up and you want to heal yours, like with some clerks out. I don't take Smite because it doesn't seem too worth it. I'd rather have a chance of getting one of these 1 minions instead of a mana thing that costs 2, or that does cost 1 mana and only does 2 damage. Mind Vision, I already have one of those in my deck. Let's see here, what else? I only take one of those Shadow Words just because you don't need 2 of them in there. I'd rather have more minions in there than have 2 more of these. And the Temple Enforcers. If you can get those, those are really nice. Same with all of these cards. I would probably want to get actually another Mind Game and probably end up taking out one of my minions. Which I'd probably take out this minion and end up putting in another Mind Game if I got one. With neutral minions, I'd stick to keeping up a few taunts. Make sure you do have some minions that their ability is heal. Try and stay away from minions that don't have any ability at all. Just for the fact that they're almost to that point, they don't have that little extra that you'd want each one to have. Silences are always really nice to have in your deck just for getting rid of that ability that the Wind Fury that the other minion has, or the spell damage that they'll end up doing, or even it gets rid of taunts as well. So it's really nice to have. What you can also do, if you don't like the fact of using your spells to buff out each of these different minions and such like that, you can go for a spell damage deck. With spell damage, you can get all of your spell damage cards, like get both your Mind Blast in there. You can get your Holy Smite in there as well, and your Holy Novas. If you have a spell damage card in the field, it'll end up doing more damage. Divine Shields are really nice to have in there as well, especially one with charge like this guy.